When is a top-down approach to leading change more appropriate? Are there some change efforts better poised for success with a top-down versus bottom-up leadership strategy? Does it even matter? Well, thanks to my work with Change Enthusiasm Global, enabling organizations in the Fortune 500 to grow through change and transformation, I've got a few insights on this one. Let's get it. While a top-down approach to making change happen in business may not always be the most effective, I do believe there are some situations or circumstances where employing this approach will best poise your initiative for success. In this video, I'm going to first break down the difference between top-down and bottom-up approaches. Then dive into 3 areas of change where I feel a top-down approach is most appropriate to enable the success of that change and help to make the change stick. And one just might surprise you. What's the difference between a top-down versus bottom-up approach? Well, these are actually both ways of information processing. This is actually language that's commonly used in software development, product design, and programming. Top-down emphasizes the total system, the entire organization, moving down into subsets or various teams. In a business context, top-down is when an executive or a top-level leader makes a decision on something that needs to get done and then disseminates that information through the rest of the organization, moving down throughout the hierarchy. And then it's up to those within the hierarchy to actually make that change happen. Conversely, a bottom-up approach can be thought of as an incremental change approach that represents an emergent process, cultivated and upheld primarily by frontline workers. In other words, think of it like a grassroots effort. To bring it a little closer to home, think of a bottom-up approach being some type of a change or an idea that's being presented by a peer, or maybe even a direct report, whereas a top-down approach is an idea or something that needs to happen coming to you from your 1-up, 2-up, or even higher levels in the organization. So now let's dive into 3 different types of change where I've seen a top-down approach be most effective. The first of these 3 areas is strategy. So where should the business be focused? What should be prioritized or not? When that's the type of change that needs to happen, it's best that that information comes from the top because it directly implicates and impacts what individuals are responsible for and what they're working on. When a strategy change is presented, the most effective way to make it stick is when that direction is coming from those who are going to be holding individuals in the organization accountable for making it happen. In other words, those managers or leaders that are responsible for your bonuses, responsible for your compensation, responsible for those things that are going to incentivize you to do your best work day in, day out. I mean, just think about it. Let's pretend that a peer of yours or perhaps a direct report comes and tells you, instead of working on X, Y, and Z, you need to be working on this. I feel really strongly about this, so get going on it. Would you be more or less apt to listen to that individual and actually do those things versus if your manager came and told you, you know what, we need to shift priorities. Instead of working on this, we need to work on that. Which one would you be more keen and ready to agree to? By the way, if you're getting value from this content, if you're digging it, make sure you like, subscribe, click the bell, click the button, see the things. I do videos like this all the time. I want to make sure that you have the latest in your inbox. So make sure you click subscribe and get all the content first. All right, let's get back into it. The second area of change is changes in organizational structure. So this looks like changes in reporting relationships, accountability, how teams are organized. And because it's the leaders or managers at higher levels in the organization that's looking at the organization more macroscopically, they can see how the structure is affecting moving the business forward and actually delivering results. What might be broken versus where there might be some efficiencies that could be promoted. And because of the complexity involved, often when you're going through an organizational restructure, it requires a lot of collaboration across many top leaders in the organization. So when that direction is coming more from the top, it's easier for those top level leaders to understand what's the vision, how is this going to impact me and my organization, who do I need to be working with seamlessly in order to make it happen. That's much more effective when the direction is coming from higher in the organization versus from the bottom. The third and final area of change where I think a top-down approach is really most effective is culture. And this is the one that might be a little bit surprising. But I say that because in order to change the culture of an organization, you have to change the behaviors that are commonly exhibited throughout that culture, and then the rooted beliefs that are nurturing those behaviors. And as you move to higher and higher levels in the organization, the power of influence increases. So as you get top leaders role modeling those new behaviors, carrying and exemplifying those new beliefs that you want to be a part of the new culture, it can be much more effective in building the momentum and growing the critical mass that's required moving through that culture shift. Now, I say that the top-down approach is most effective for this, but I've also seen culture change be initiated from the grassroots, being started bottom up. But it's when those top leaders actually embrace it, buy into it, and then begin role modeling those desired behaviors that you really see tremendous momentum. So though I think that culture change can start from the bottom, I think in order to really make it stick and make it effective, you have to have those at the top of the organization talking about why this change is important, why they believe in it, and why they want to nurture that desired culture moving forward. All right, so speaking of leading through change, I've got something else for you for free. I actually want to share with you a snippet of one of my keynote recordings. And it was a keynote that I delivered to an organization going through tremendous change in the market as well as internally. And I want to share with you the portion of the message where I was talking about how to lead others and inspire others when going through big change and disruption. And I even pull in key insights from our latest research. We partnered with the leading research institute, CGK, in order to understand the status of change and emotion in the workplace. And I'm talking about that data and sharing my own insights during this keynote recording. And it's yours today for free. But again, all you got to do is click and it's to you for free. I want to make sure that you have the research, the data, and the insights to ensure your success and growth through even your most challenging changes. I'm Cassandra Worthy. And until we meet again, keep growing and keep rocking.